Hello, audio. Okay, I hear sound now. Okay, we got sound. Thank goodness. Hello, everybody. On the air with VA3 EWV, AllStar EchoLink, Friday Night Net. So let me get the right stuff out there for folks. Let me see if I have the live going, but I can't even do the chat on the live, so don't know what that's all about. Let me just share it anyway. Hello, audio. Single side that makes the sound. FT8 comes through so clear. What the heck am I on? There we go. All right, let's see if I can get this EchoLink working. There's a million people in the room waiting too. So let's get the pop in here. Hello, everyone. This is Hello, everyone. This is Ernest, VA3 EWV, on the air with VA3 EWV EchoLink AllStar Net. We're going to get started here in a second. I was trying to get the chat to work with YouTube, and it's not working, so I don't know what's going on with that. But give me 2 seconds, and I'm going to add another repeater, and we're going to get started. We'll be right back with you. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor is a frequency in use. Okay, if it's okay, I'll be using this adding this repeater to the net. BA3 EWV. Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Ernest, Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor, with the AllStar EchoLink Friday Evening Net. Sorry I'm tardy, about 2 minutes there. I was trying to get the chat to work in the YouTube, and this is not the first time that it hasn't worked. Every time I go on, it says something wrong with a little monkey there, and then I can't use the chat feature. The whole reason I was doing that is so I could use the chat. But anyway, we're here, and we are live on the air. Good to have everybody out there. I was not present last week. I was in the Caribbean and very quiet. I was actually scared to go on the trip because of all the stuff that was happening in the news and all that stuff, so I kept it quiet. I didn't bring any electronics with me at all, and made it there and back. Had a great time. No issues both ways. So there you go. Tonight, though, our topic is going to be, since the spring has sprung in most spots, it is still 9 degrees here in St. Andrews, West Ontario, and it's been a rainy week all week. Let me pause right quick. Anyway, it's been a very rainy week here in the St. Andrews. Very cold. Like I said, it's 9 degrees here. And it is raining now. So it still doesn't feel like spring. Everything is in full bloom, but I know I've started seeing a lot of people getting antennas erected and things like that. I'm starting a new page in my radio adventure, which is I signed up for CW Ops. So I had my second class last night, already shedding tears. Haven't been on the radio at all this week because I've been studying. It's such a hard course. I have to study all the time just to play catch up. So our topic tonight is, what are you planning on doing in radio now that the good weather's here. Then after that, it's going to be what are you doing for the weekend? I know some of my Canadian friends are watching the hockey game I was just notified of. And what are you doing this weekend? And it is Mother's Day weekend. So if you have some out there special, what you doing for Mother's Day? We're going to get started there. We're going to first go any short time check-ins. Any short time check-ins, please come now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the VE3 PGC repeater. But any other short time check-ins, if we have any, please come now. All right, the first person I have on the list here that was in here the longest looks like was NX3F. Long time no here. NX3F, come on in with your name, your call sign, your name, your QTH, how long you've been in ham, and what's been cooking up with you. I hadn't heard from you in about a month or so. I know you had little travels and stuff going on, but it's good to see you out there. NX3F, come on in.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, Ernest. Yes, sir. It's been a while. Glad I hit the season. I've been tied up here on Friday night. My name is Alan, Alpha Lima Echo November, and I'm located in Temple Hills, Maryland, in the Washington, D.C. suburb area. And I got my license back in 1952. For the weekend coming up, I might be putting out my modified NFIT halfway antenna. So I think that's about it. Back to net control. Other than that, everything is well over this way. VA3 EWD and X3F.
It sure is good to hear you out there, NX3F. Thanks for being out there as well. And look, we have a little bit of QRM in there on the VE3 PGC repeater. It, as the song says, it happens all the time. But what I might do is just disconnect that, which means it'll disconnect us all, but then we can all come back in. We'll just see what happens. That's why I have my own node, but sometimes I like to add other repeaters there. Let's see, the next person on the list was KG5 of Foxtrot India. KG5 Foxtrot India. How are you? Come on in with your name, well, with your call sign, name, QTH, how long you've been a ham, and do you have anything, any new things going on, or any projects going on since we have good weather? Over to you. Okay, nothing heard from Kilo Bravo 6. I think, no, yeah, Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot India. Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot India, are you there? Over.
Yes, this is Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot, India. My name is Jack Milchanowski. I live in Sunset, Texas. Been a ham since 1983. But I had a 30-year break raising kids and doing some other things, and just about a year and a half ago got back into ham radio, and boy, things have changed with all this electronic stuff. And, I've really embraced QRP, I guess, and POTA, and really been enjoying that. And for Mother's Day, my wife suggested that she come along to one of the parks with me.
Oh, cool.
We cooked up chuck roast, and we're going to make sandwiches and go out. And she and our 12-pound dog and I are going to go to the park together on Mother's Day. And I'm going to do some POTA, and she's going to sit there and read. And this was her suggestion, so I thought that was great. So back to you in the net. My first time here. Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot, India.
Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot, India, and the net. VA3 EWV returning. Let me tell you, I'm pretty excited. Two reasons. Good to have you here with us for the first time. I've only missed one Friday night, and that was last week because I was out of the country in over a year. So I think I'm actually going into 2 years doing this net. My name is Ernest, by the way, everyone. I'm from St. Andrews, West Ontario, here in Eastern Ontario, Canada. The first radio I had was my iPhone 6 Plus with EchoLink on the phone. When I first tuned in, for you, those of you that are watching, I still have EchoLink on my phone right there, as you can see. And I always keep that as a backup because when all else fails, I can get on EchoLink. And as long as I have an internet connection, I can talk anywhere in the world there. So that's pretty cool with that. So, like I said, the hobbies and stuff like that, or what you guys are doing for the springtime, that's the big hot topic. The second thing I'm excited about is that your XYL actually, she actually suggested that. And bringing food and stuff out there, that's pretty cool. I only brought food once with me, and I do have some pictures on my Facebook group. If you don't mind, Jack, if you can check out Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor on QRZ, or visit my YouTube channel or my Facebook group. You can see some of the pictures I had there. Now, I didn't make the food. I actually brought it with me, but it was great. It was one of the less chillier days, and I had my own picnic in the park there. Stick around with us there. Oh, by the way, is your wife licensed? Because we do have some XYLs out there that are licensed, but they just don't get on the radio. Over.
Oh, very good. And thank you for the welcome. And we've had some strange weather. We've had 100 degrees Fahrenheit days.
Whoa.
And then we've also had about 3 weeks of rain and tornado threats and hail threats and so forth. And now it's back down to our approximately 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So everything's in bloom and grass is green, and I've been getting out and doing hold up post every other day. So back to you again, KG5FI.
Thank you so much, KG5FI, and we'll break with you now. So far we've talked to Mr. Allen, NX3F, also Mr. Jack there out of Sunset, KG5FI. Always have a pen and paper with you because it has been known that people are talking on this particular net and they hear good stuff happening because at the very end of the net, we do, it's a little rag you time. So if you've heard something that you want to talk about, or someone mentioned an antenna or what they're doing with Parks on the Air, you mentioned QRP, I'll have a question for you about that if you're still around. And we like to take notes and talk to each other about that. Okay, we're going to break with Jack there, but before we move on, we're going to ask, are there any other short time check-ins that want to come in before we keep on down the line? Our next person up is going to be VA3GAM. But before we reach that, any other short time check-ins? Okay, nothing heard. We did pick up VA3JIC. I see you out there. As well as KB6JFL. I see you out there too. But next on the list is Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike. Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike. Come on in. How are you this weekend?
Hey, Ernest, all is well. Victor Alpha 3 Golf Alpha Mike. The name is George from Vaughan, Ontario. I've been a licensed ham since the very early 90s. The year of origin sort of jumps out of my mind at the moment for some unknown reason. I guess it's an age thing. I've been doing radio for quite a while, and as Jack, I believe it was, the fellow from Texas, had indicated, I sort of was out of radio for a good while, maybe about 25 years or so. I just sort of jumped back into it. Actually, I jumped back into it last year. This weekend, I have obvious plans for Mother's Day on Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, and go for a bicycle ride. Her matching apparatus at one end. So unfortunately, the mast is tall enough to mount the full length of the wire, so I'm going to have to set up some kind of inverted, see how that works. But I'm going to be experimenting with this over time to get the best configuration. So once I do that, I'm going to try out some QRP. Hopefully the antenna is good enough for some decent QRP. And, we'll see how things go. Back to you, Ernest. A3WB. This is Victor Alpha Golf Alpha Mike.
Victor Alpha 3 Golf Alpha Mike in the net. VA3EW returning. Yeah, thanks for being out there, George. I did see the picture of your mast on the Facebook group there. So again, everybody who's out there, if you haven't seen some pictures, George has put a couple pictures of the mast. And when you put that, I forget what it was, but you were saying the such and such. I thought that was an antenna, and I looked on I searched it in Google, and that's one of the new. I think that's one of the new Yaesu radios there. I think that I was reading about briefly. Then I got sidetracked. But is that a new radio that you're getting, or what? Do you want to share that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's the new Yaesu FTX-1 Optima. It's the Optima model is a combination QRP rig and attachable or attached amplifier.
Oh.
So they're selling the FT1 in two different packages. They're selling the faceplate, which is, or the head unit, which is by itself it's either a 6-watt with the battery or 10-watt with an external power supply. It's a Shack in the box. It does 2-meter, 70 centimeter, and all of the VHF bands. Dual receive. It's a really nice video. And second variation of that, you get the head unit with an attached 100-watt amplifier, which you can detach if you want to use the radio, if you want to use the head unit on its own.
Ooh.
So you can do QRP or you can do 100-watt operation.
Well, I have to say that's pretty fancy, VA3GAM, George there. Well, I tell you what, you did yourself a good job there. I have the FT991 Alpha, which is the Shack in the box. It's also a big brick too. It's heavy as heck, and I got some muscles toting that thing around all winter long. But I love it, and I just use it straight up 100 watts. Not all the time, but I do. I don't do a lot of hunting. I do a couple of park to parks when I get to a POTA site or a WWFF site. I will call out and check out a few people. I haven't tried to do QRP yet at all. I've mistakenly been on 40 watts before trying to run an activation. And by mistake, I mean I was working FT8 and FT4 prior to that. And when I went to SSB, I forgot to put it out, but I was getting out a little bit. They were saying I was still coming in and all that, but once I put the gas down, I got a lot more contacts there. Not a lot more. I'm just saying because it's not a lot more. You guys that are QRP know you can still get a lot of contacts, and surprisingly enough, I have people saying they're QRP and QRP mobile all the time, and they're paying me $5.9 plus. Mostly in the 13 colonies there, and sometimes Florida. I get a lot of the QRP stations and a lot of mobile stations too. I'm doing CW training, but my goal is when I'm proficient enough, I'm going to try QRP on CW. That's what I want to do. QRP on CW. Thanks so much, George. I can't wait to see that radio in action. Post some pictures or some videos when you get it going. Thanks for being out there. Okay, we've talked to NX3F. We've talked to KG5FI. We've talked to VA3GAM. The next person on the list is Kilo Bravo 6, Juliet Foxtrot Lima. Please come on in.
Yeah, that KB6JFL here in Bakersfield, California, and it's living up to its name today. We were about 36 degrees Celsius there, Ernest, and
Whoa.
we're supposed to be close to 40 degrees Celsius, and that's close to 96 and 104 tomorrow, I think. So nice and warm. Makes it a little difficult doing satellite passes when you're out there in the heat. You don't want to make your 10, 12-minute passes. You don't want to stay out there any longer than that in direct sunlight. So, as you notice, I've been posting quite a bit while you've been gone on your website. If I haven't hooked it all up, and if I ever get any complaints, I'll pare it back a little bit. But a lot of people like the information on the satellite thing and the images from the space station. And tonight I have this pass at 8:40 my time, and I'll be inside doing the image and outside doing the contacts on the space station there. Anyway, other than that, KD6JFL.
Thank you so much to Robert KB6JFL. Everyone, if you heard that, I know that Jack said he was fairly new coming back into the hobby there. But yes, I'm always, Robert, where'd you get that from? And I saw those and noticed that I haven't even tried to do it yet. I swear to you that CW is killing me. We already had a couple people drop out, and we've only had, excuse me, we're on lesson 2. There was some pre-work, and there are people that have already dropped out of the class. We're down 3 people there. But I definitely want to do that. I saw the images, tickle pink with it. And if you could, you know how with the other ASI, whatever it was, you put the picture up and it has like the frequencies to go to and this and that. If you can put some of those shots up, that'll be great. Also, thank you. I want to thank you, Devin, and a couple other people. I was so happy because the site, it does say on the air with VA3WV, but I was planning on changing that because I want everybody to, have fun and post their stuff. So thank you very much for keeping the fires burning there. Really appreciate it. Okay, we're going to pick it up now with VA3GIC. VA3GIC, come on in. How are you this evening?
Good evening, Ernest. This is Victor Alpha 3 Julie India Charlie. I'm doing well. I've been licensed since 2022. What have I been doing radio-wise? Well, I've been playing with hands over IP, trying to get my new phone up and running properly. And yes, your parcel's on its way to you now, sir. Excited to have you come in on hands over IP. That's going to be really exciting. I'm trying to do my net on a Sunday on hands over IP, and last week not so successful. So this is our last week for one area. We're going to move on to the next area, I believe. So it's going to be over an AllStar node and so on and so on. So that will come out soon, and I will post it to people who would like on your site, Ernest, if that's what you would like. I would do that. But for this weekend, not doing too much, just playing with this silly old phone. And with that, thanks for taking my check-in, and back to you, Ernest. This is the Julie India Charlie.
That's right, folks. So thank you there. That's James, everyone, out of Guelph, Ontario. I know James was about to have a heart attack there. Not a heart attack. That's not the right thing. I gave James the work. It should have been a simple process. But I think after 16 emails, we got it going there. My wife, she's like, she had the bright idea, hey, send it in a shipping label. And I'm like, okay. Then she's like, how much does it weigh? I was like, oh, I forgot to ask. What's the height, width, and such and such? I'm like, oh, I forgot to ask. What's the something else? And I was like, "Ugh, can you just get all this stuff so I can ask one time? But I'm glad you're a trooper with that. I'm glad it got picked up good, and can't wait to add that another mode of communication. See, that's what it's all about, folks. That's why I love to have this. We have EchoLink going tonight, but we're AllStar. We also are connected to the AllStar node with VE3 PGC. So we have those two modes going. We have folks out doing satellite work that's here tonight joining us. Folks doing hams over IP, right? So this is where you want to be. If you've been out for 30 years and you're coming back like Jack, there's a lot of stuff out there you can never get. I'm behind. You know, I need to get the CW out the way so I can get everything else going. Thank you so much, James, for being out there and helping us out tonight. Let's see if there's anybody on the VE3 PGC repeater, the VE3 PGC repeater that would like to check in. Please come now. This is Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor. Okay, nothing heard on the local repeater. I do like to connect it every time there. We have about 50 or so people around the area, and we have a lot of scanner listeners. So it's good to have folks out there and being part of it. We may get another all-star repeater in the area. I'm so tickled pink about that. This repeater is used quite often. It's right down the street from my house, probably about not even a 5-minute drive from my house. So I have really good coverage on this, but we might get another one in the area. I'll be happy to do that. Okay, so we've had our first round. We've heard from NX3F, Mr. Allen, KG5FI, Mr. Jack there, George, VA3GAM, followed by my man Robert there, KB6JFL, and then Mr. James, VA3JIC. Now, some of you have shared what you're going to be doing for the Mother's Day weekend. We appreciate that already. But if so, you can either, we're about to start the next round. I'll be starting with Mr. Allen at the top, working the way down. But if you've heard anything that you are interested in, or you have anything else to share, please come on now. This is Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor. And X3F, you're up next. Okay, we might pick it back up with NX3F. KG5FI. Mr. Jack, are you still around there? And any other plans for the weekend besides the POTA there? Oh, by the way, before you start, I was trying to get my brakes done on my car, and I might have to take my wife's car, which is a bummer. But I'm going to be trying my third attempt at a 20 rove activation. I've been successful at a 5 rove twice, and then I was successful at a 10. And what I mean by successful, I do WWFF, Worldwide Floor Fauna as well. And when you do Worldwide Floor and Fauna, to activate a park, you need 44 contacts. So the goal is for me to go to each park and at least get a minimum of 50 contacts per park. When I get scared and start running out of time, and the clock's ticking toward the end of the day, I may just speed it up at the end. And that's what I had to do at my last 10 Park Road. So I'm going to be going out tomorrow after our club breakfast. I'm going to hit the road, and I've already told the wife I'm not coming back until the bell tolls at the end of the day. So hopefully I'll get at least 10 or 15. And what I've heard, I haven't gotten to see it, but I've heard the bands have been like really, really, really terrible. But you know, that's not an issue when you're using AllStar, EchoLink, DMR, Yaesu Fusion, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Let me just back up a bit, see if NX3F is there. And if not, then we're going to pick it up with Jack. Mr. Allen, are you there? Over.
Test.
Okay.
Sorry about that, brother. The APWV NX3. Sorry about that. I mentioned that Mother's Day. Got the one daughter that's here, and probably do a little cookout, and I'll probably get out there and wash her car tomorrow. Put my points up the fuel. Other than that, not too much going on here. And I hope you had a good trip in the Caribbean. That sounds like that's real nice. And the other station in there that's getting that's in the Yesu was the FT1 Foxtrot or something like that. That's nice. That's really, really nice. We should up on that radio, and I'd be interested for comments on that baby. Once you get that baby on the air,
That's what I'm talking about.
A real nice, really nice, good radio. I've got an FTDX10 here. I've had here for some time here now, and nice, very nice radio. But that new one that Yesu makes, man, that looks like that's going to be a killer. Back to you, Ernest. This is NX3.
Amen to that, Mr. Allen. I first had to get over the sticker shock. I went to go read what the radio did, and I saw the sticker, and I went on and started washing dishes. The wife's like, "I thought you were going to be looking at the radio." I'm like, "Yeah, I saw a price of a radio, decided I need to go wash some dishes." I want to hear that one too. I think I heard somebody on the VE3 PGC repeater trying to test out VE3 PGC repeater. If anybody's on there that wants to check in, please come on in. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Okay, because yes, I did hear a person saying test that was showing up on the VE3 PGC repeater. If you're trying to get in or you're trying to test out, that's one reason I do this net too, and I have lots of patience, by the way. There are a lot of first-time EchoLink users, and I do have the patience of Job there. So if you're trying to check in, let's try it one more time before I move down the line. But we'll always come back and grab you at the end. Anyone on the VE3 PGC repeater wishing to check in, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. We're gonna pick it up now with Mr. Jack there, who's gonna be having a nice time doing the pod activation with the XYL. Hey, have you heard Jack of WWFF Worldwide Flora Fauna? Because a lot of us are activating. We're going to parks that have both. And by the way, what software are you using when you do your parks on the air? That's for KG5FI. Go ahead.
Yes, Ernest, thank you. WSJEX is the software that I use, and I also have Grid Tracker up at the same time. And that's what I use most of the time. And all this computer stuff is new to me, and I'm an old guy, and some of it's confusing. I was really pleased to have this EchoLink stuff, and
knew it was going to time out there. Okay, Mr. Jack, KG5FI. Yeah, we are connected to one of the repeaters here. When we're not connected to the repeater, we can talk all day because there's no timer on my node there. Hey, but look, you came to the right place. When you said when you mentioned the software that you use, Grid Tracker and WSJTX, I had a big smile on my face because I use that all day, every day. Well, not since I've been doing CW, but I'm very versed with that software. So we're going to have to connect there when you have some free time because there is another version of WSJTX that's really nice. And also, when you do your park activations, uh, when you launch that program, you know how it has your name at the bottom, well, your call sign at the bottom. You've probably seen the guys out there putting POTA there. So if you put CQ POTA in your call sign, you're gonna get a 3 dB gain just like that. Anyway, you're gonna. A friend told me that as a joke, but it's not really a 3 dB gain. But anyway, when you put CQ POTA on your thing there, you get a lot more stuff. And the best part about that, you can have a nice meal and a conversation with your wife and have the radio just enough so you can see the screen and stuff, and you can still converse. Because I do it all the time. You know, I'm sitting there talking to the wife. The thing's going through its little 6 steps, and then when I get a contact, if we're still talking good, I know it keeps the time and stuff. I know that Grid Tracker is going to auto log it, and I don't worry about it. And then I'll take 5 or 10 minutes, finish the conversation, then click it, add it to the tracker there, and then you're on your way. Thanks for being out there. Okay, we're going to break with you, Mr. Jack. Now we're going to pick it up with George there, VA3GAM. But before we do, let's peek in on VE3PGC. Anyone out on VE3PGC wishing to check in, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Let's pick it up with VA3JAM. Mr. George there, come on in.
Yeah, Jack was talking about FT8. I just so happened to get my FT8 working last Sunday, and I made 6 contacts in about half an hour. I was absolutely delighted because I had the hardest time in the world getting that thing to work with the radio that I was using. Same software as Jack, WSJTX, and for some reason, the software was keeping the radio. However, the audio was coming from the radio's internal microphone, and I had no clue why. I posted in one of the Facebook groups, and somebody came back to me a few days later with a specific setting that had to be set for that radio. But the odd thing is, the radio's manual didn't mention that particular setting, so I always think that. Not sure why that was the case, but I got it going, and I was super happy. So I logged 6 contacts in about a half hour, and it was awesome. So that's something I'm going to be doing a whole lot more once I get new rate, because the day after I made those FT contacts, I sold that QRP rate. So that's been shipped, and now I'm waiting for my new. Very soon I should be having a whole lot of fun with that. And it's back to you, Ernest.
Well, I got some exciting news for you and Jack there, KG5FI, and for you, George. When I met Robert there, and so I'm doing the satellite things, and I have the Yaesu radio, not the exact same models that everybody else has. But I found out that if you've gone through the hardships of getting your radio to talk to your computer, et cetera, there's only 5 or 6 more changes. Well, on the 991 for sure, There's only a couple of changes, and you can do the satellite stuff. I have a tri-band vertical antenna up 50 feet, and I've worked satellites with that, and it's not even directional. It's just omnidirectional whip, just up 50 feet on the tower there, and I've worked stations with that, and I'll be happy to help you guys get whatever radio up and running, because with the with the Yaesu radio, let me just pause right quick here. I have an FT991A menu editor and then an FT991A programmer. Let me pause. So what I have on my desktop, I found out that when I got everything set up for FT8, I could go to the menu editor, and I'll open it up now. As a matter of fact, I'll share this part. Let me just go to my YouTube there, because it says share desktop, and I'll share that with the folks who are watching. So I can do share screen, and I'll do the entire screen there, and then I'll do this window. Okay, here we go. So I'm sharing my screen now so everybody can see it. So here's the FT991A menu editor, and right now it's all set up for FT8. So if I click on File, you see it says New, Open, Save, etc. Then Communications, get menu items from radio, send menu items to radio. So when I'm in FT8 mode and I'm doing my business with that, I do that. When my timer goes off, tell me that the satellite is about 10 minutes away. I then go to File, because I'll show you here on my desktop. Here's my SSTV file, and here's my FT8 file here. Let me pause one more time. So what you'll see on the screen, I'll click on File, I'll say Open, and it'll open. And it'll be looking for my desktop, and then I'll choose, it says working on it, I'll choose SSTV. So when I do STV and I press Open, you probably didn't see it, it flashed really quick. But see how this says my call location 5 seconds, bar meter peak hold 2.0 seconds? There's a lot of settings, but if I go back again, say Open again, desktop, and I go FT8, I'm going to move this to the side. Watch these settings change. Watch this. See, now it says 1 second, right? This video is live stream, so you can go back and look at that. We're at the whatever minute mark that I'm doing this. It's 44 minutes in. But I just wanted you guys to know that you can just do a few more settings on your radios once you get them set up, and you can start chasing satellites. Okay, that's enough of me talking. Let's take a pause for the calls. I always check with PGC. Let's do that right now, and then we'll keep on down the line. Anyone on PGC, V3 PGC, wishing to check in, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. We're going to now pick it up with Mr. Robert, if you're still out there. Kilo Bravo 6, Juliet Foxtrot Lima, please come on in.
Back again, Katie. I'll probably break several times during this because I got several things we got to catch up with somebody there. And Ernest, I've been doing code since 1975 until 1986. That's all I did was code, and that's no problem. No problem at all. So once you learn it, you'll get it there, no problem. So anyway, satellite situation there, Ernest, the frequency for the ages is at 145,800. 145,800, and you only have about 2 more days left of that. Let me break the rope. Anyway, so anyway, other than that, anybody that wants to add me on Facebook to learn a little bit more about satellites can do that. There's a video I did post on Ernest's website that World Radio League and Radio Prep put up on satellite information, which was really good, a little all the same methods. And FT8 as a fun mode, I use the WSJT new and improved version, which gives you the buttons for each frequency. Also shows you your SWR and your power on the screen itself. And if you get it in a high SWR, it automatically shuts it off, so you don't miss your radio, which was really, really a nice feature in that one. So I know there's something I'm leaving out, but I got plenty of everything else here. So we'll let it go back to you there, Ernest. EWD, KD6JFL, Bakersfield, California, and this next month I've been licensed 50 years at the age of 14.
Awesome. Awesome. All the way around. Yeah. I forgot about those features, and that SWR thing has saved me out in the field quite a few times there because of loose connections or this or that. Also, I love the filters. I think that might be what you wanted to add there. Once I found the filters, I was like, oh, I just want to look at stations in Europe or stations I haven't worked before. And my DX just went through the roof. So usually on WRL, that's a soft. Excuse me. Back in the shack there. WRL is a software that I use. Not because I like it. It just has some. It has some beautification features that I like. Outside of the extras, I normally use other software because I don't have to babysit it there. But since it's a beta and since it's new, I've been hanging in there with it. But I like to look at some of the things that tell you how many QSOs you're having per hour on the WRL software. It has some good maps and things like that, and I do put videos together for that. Yeah, so thank you for mentioning all that stuff about the FT8. Okay, the last person I see, and we don't have anybody new in the room, but our last person up is James there, VA3GIC. Hey, look, when you guys do have those things like your nets going on and things happening in your towns and hamfests and all this and that, please post it on the website. I have given approval for some of you, like Robert and George there, and Mr. Allen, I think as well, that you can just post without it being me having to look at it prior to it going up. So you guys, it's the web is the group is yours as well. All right, James, I'm gonna stop yakking and bring you on in there. VA3GIC, come on in.
All right, Ernest, thanks so much for picking me back up. This is Victor Alpha 3 Julie India Charlie. I absolutely will put my net on your Facebook if that's all good with you. That would be appreciated. And just really excited. So when you get that phone to help you out to get you up on that, and on the Hams over IP, I just want to let you know there. One of the admins in the UK, I mentioned it to him today, and he will keep a watch for your name to come up, and will activate it pretty quick for you, and send you all the credentials you need to do that. So, with that, back to you, Ernest. And again, thanks for taking my call. This is Victor Alpha 3 Julie India Charlie.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And don't forget that, I do have an events page on the Facebook group. I've never seen that if other people can do it, but if you go to events there, it lists the events. And if it allows you to, please feel free to click on create an event, and you can make it a reoccurring event. Okay? We'll love that stuff. And if there's any special events going on, let's put it up there in the event because it'll notify everyone. In the summertime, people get a lot, I don't want to say busier, but, spend a lot more time outside. The sun stays up a little bit longer. And sometimes folks forget about the nets and stuff like that. My friend, the Raw Ham, has his net on Wednesday nights. And I was in the chair sitting there watching TV and forgot all about it. Had I had a notification pop up an hour before, that's what I do to mine. And it may let people know. Okay, well, that's it. We've had a really good jam-packed evening. and I hope that we can get in contact with each other. If you did have your pen and papers around, you want to reach out to those folks. We had VA3JIC on tonight. That's James. We had Kilo Bravo 6, Juliet Foxtrot Lima, Robert with the satellite. So James has the happens over IP. Robert KB5JFL has the satellites. George VA3GAM is going to have that new Yaesu radio that we're dying to see. Jack is out there new and coming back into all the stuff. So, Jack, you know, a lot of us know about that. So you came to the right place. And with Facebook and different other tools, you can actually, I've helped a lot of people get that situated by going on Facebook, doing the screen share on Facebook, and actually working on their computer with them. And then we have Mr. Allen out there that does car washes, everybody. So let's meet Mr. Allen down there in Temple Hills for free car washes on Mother's Day. All right. Okay. If anybody has anything else to say or any closing words, feel free to come on in. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor standing by. Net recognizes KB6JFL. Come on in.
Yeah, one thing that I did forget, and many people complain about email QSL. Well, I found out why I do it, and it makes sense, and it's perfect. The other day on satellite, I worked the traveling ham, K0VIM. He has a YouTube website, YouTube channel, the traveling ham, and worked him on AO91 satellite, which was my first contact on that satellite after 130 some on all the other ones. But anyway, I sent him a QSL card that same day, right after I worked him on email QSL card from QSL creator, the guy in Rhode Island. And he took the message back. Let me break the. He sent me a message back real quick. He says, "Oh my God, you sent me a QSL card." Well, what happened was he forgot to turn his recorder on, and he worked people on that. This is one of his first attempts to work in satellites, and he forgot to turn the recorder on and didn't get the call signs that he worked. And I sent him that QSL card. He had that one, and then we had one other one he missed, and I figured out which one it was. He worked in X-ray Echo 2 Echo Bravo and Delta Lima at 95, and got that one squared away for him. So it does come handy when you can send a QSL card out real quick to help the even of the satellite. Anyway, good day ever.
Rogers on that. And just to let everybody know, I think everyone that does recording of their, you know, either it's QRZ, get the other one now. LOTW, those things like that. I noticed that I've only been in a ham for 2 years, by the way. I celebrated my second year January. I was licensed in 23, so I'm 2 years in it. But what I was going to say, I remember reaching out to my friend, a good friend of mine, VE3 Alpha Radio Fox, and I said, "Hey, I have 500 contacts, but only like 200 people have confirmed with the gold star." And he giggled and he's like, "Yeah, that's about it for everybody. It's about, you know, half." Then I started using Grid Tracker that automatically logs to all these different things. And my percentage is way over 60% now. So like it's soaring higher and higher because, you know, we use those programs like that and you send out QSL cards right away. Mine, and when I send my emails, it says, "Hey, I logged this to QRZ and LOTW. Would you mind doing it on your side?" And some people have come in and actually done that. So kudos for that. Okay, any other final words before we close off the net? This is Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor, standing by.
Yes, at X3F, I got a quick query.
Net recognizes NX3F. Go ahead.
I'm curious. I've never really asked this, but I'm kind of curious. Could you explain how the licensing classes work in Canada for the United States? I'm kind of curious about that.
Okay, yes. So we have you have basic, which is like I think it's the general. I'm not too sure, but you can get your basic license, and that gives you access to UHF, VHF, and 6 meter. And I did not know that I could have been doing 6 meter FT8 and FT4 the whole time I had my basic. So I could have been doing UHF, VHF, and using 6 meter. Then the second stage is basic with honors. Basic with honors gives you HF privileges, and not just a little bit here and a little bit there. You have HF privileges. Then the advanced, which I hold, I pursued the advanced because I wanted my own. I wanted my own repeater. Not that we don't have enough in our area. We have 8 repeaters, but in case something happened, I wanted my own AllStar EchoLink repeater and stuff like that. Just for me. And then I found out that I could just get a node and all that stuff. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. But also, you can get your maximum power. You can build repeater systems. Just like an extra that gives you everything. So we only have 3, and each 3 cost me $0, and I don't have to relicense myself. So if I had to, I would look at that as a money grab. So when I look at the licensing system, I don't know about it, but if I had to pay every year to keep licenses or anything like that, I look at that as a money grab. But we don't have to pay for that. The only thing you have to do, I did pay for my books, but even with Radio Amateurs of Canada, I got to take the basic class for free, and I got to take the advanced class for free because I was a member of our Radio Amateurs of Canada. Over. Did I?
Okay, man. Very good. Very good. Thank you for clarifying that. I never really had asked somebody about that, so I was kind of curious about that. I know that years and years ago we had the attempt here in the United States. I went from novice to let's say novice, general, then I went to advanced. I stayed advanced for years and years and years, and then went to extra. What was it, back about 6, 7 years ago? But I was always kind of curious about that, how that works up there. One other question: do you have to like here you go take the exam in front of the world? You had to go to the SEC office here years ago, but then I guess done away with that now. You guys could go to these DEC folks now, volunteer people who work in conjunction with the ARRL and SEC. Is that the same kind of situation up there too? Go ahead.
Yes. I think it was the same in my situation. I'm a post-COVID ham, so a lot of things were going online. Like my class, when I took my basic class, before that, people were doing it in clubs or they were doing certain organizations, like all that stuff and going in person and this and that and the third. But when I was getting along, I mean, everybody had figured out what Zoom was. You didn't have to travel hundreds and hundreds of miles. And with me, I took my basic test like 7 times before I even passed it, right? So I'd have been broke. And if I had to pay for it, I'd have been broke too. But no, I was able to. So for me, testing, in my club at the time, our president was certified to administer exams. Another fellow, V3 Mike Hotel, Steve, which is another good friend of mine, he was able to administer tests. Our former secretary was able to administer tests, right? So since I was in the club, they didn't charge me to take the test, right? But it wasn't easy though. I can tell you that. Notice I said I had to take the test 7 times, so they definitely wasn't handing them out. When I did my advanced test, though, I found the advanced class a lot easier than the basic. And instead of me going from basic with honors to advanced, I studied my advanced, but I had been on the radio for well over a year by that time, with all the on-the-job training and visiting repeater sites with my technical director and the former secretary, right? And looking at the different sites. And like I said, we had 8. I got to visit 2, but that was enough for me to know all that stuff. So I've been pretty blessed. And when I went to take my advance, it was it wasn't a run in the park, that's for sure. But I was able to gather it with only one test there. Over.
Good evening. The time is 9 p.m.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you, Ernest. Thank you, man. I appreciate you clarifying that for me, because I knew that the structure was different, but I just it's quite a bit different from here. Very good. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sarah. Good evening to everybody on it. And everybody has a good, blessed Mother's Day weekend with your significant other half. And we're off here, VA3 EWC in the net. This is NX3F signing. 73, everybody.
Thank you, NX3F, and take a look at your email tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to send you the link because they did make some new changes this year. So, and I didn't read through all the changes, so I'm going to do that as well to make sure I'm on top of everything. But I'll just send you the link so you can get the actual, the format and stuff like that. Thanks so much. Okay, one last call. We made it to 9 o'clock there without any injuries or anything. Any other final comments before we close off the net? Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor, standing by. Go ahead with your recheck.
Yeah, just to add to what you said there, Ernest, I too did my exam over Zoom, which I got my basic with honors. I think I got a 99% on my first one, and I did my advance in February the next year, and I think I got 100% on my advance. But yeah, it was kind of weird doing it over Zoom and not in person. And I understand RAS added added either another 200 questions to the basic with honors, or just change 200 questions. I'm not sure. With that, back to you, Ernest. This is Victor Alpha 3, Judy, and you, Jordan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can't wait to get my CW part on there. I was actually thinking about going back and testing again for the basic with honors, just so my certificates could say basic with honors, advanced, and CW. That way I could have all of them. And people say, why? I said, well, when I became a ham, I really wanted to have the whole experience. And since I don't limit myself to, hey, I'm just going to, because I met a guy that says I only do CW. He didn't even have a microphone on. He showed me his radios. There was not a mic in the shack. And he's with CW something, Centennial, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. So I would love for you to train me since you know everything about it. But I'm going to have a microphone. So that was that. But yeah, I want to get the full experience of ham radio and try everything I can before I kick the bucket there. And it's a good hobby that you can do that stuff into. All right, everybody. Any last comments? Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor, standing by.
Yeah, I got one last comment, and that is I wanted to comment on you had to take the exam several times to do it. Hey, man, don't feel like a Lone Ranger. When I went for my commercial license here in the States to tune radio transmitters, again, that's way back, I had to take that exam too. And we had 3 different classes. We had element, third class, second class, and first class. I didn't go no further because you could go first class and do radar endorsement and all the rest of the other stuff, but I wasn't doing radar work. So don't feel like the Lone Ranger. 7-3.
Amen to that. Yeah, I was proud of them 7 chances. It didn't cost me nothing, so I kept going. But my passing score was a 7-3, so that was pretty cool. All right, one last call, and then we're going to be closing off the net. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor standing by. Okay, they say silence is golden. I hope everybody have a good Mother's Day weekend out there and a lot of good radio fun or any other hobbies. I know a lot of people ride motorcycles, things like that. And that's what we'll be talking about next week. What other hobbies do you have? For those of you that are on the radio, we're going to be returning the repeaters back to their normal operations there. Thanks for the owners and operators of VE3PGC for letting us have some with their repeater tonight. The other repeater did not log on because I think that the time change wasn't done. Okay, good night, everybody. 7-3. For those that you're on YouTube, we're going to be ending the night with our with a VA3EWV radio song called Radio Games. Good night, everybody. 7-3 to you. Okay, for those of you on YouTube, we're going to be playing radio games to end our net.
Y'all, it's a radio field day and it's up high. Good friends, good vibes under clear blue sky. Static free, we sipping drinks, stars in the air. Frequencies tuning, ain't got no care to spare. Radio games playing all day. Contact 73 regards, punching back, have a blast. Work the world, buzz the task, wave that signal strong from coast to land. Transmitting joy, ain't no better pastime. Laughter and a static shared on every line. Round here we groove, mix the beats and waves, harmony electric in these radio days. Radio games playing all day. Contact 73 regards, punching back, have a blast. Work the world, buzz the task, yeah. Wave that signal strong from coast to land. Craving on, find that golden flow. Station to station, let the good times roll. Echoes travel wide, far beyond the range. Friendships on the airways, strange but not strange. From dusk to dawn, we chatter and we laugh. Frequency of language, speak and telegraph. Hearts connected, bound by unseen thread. In this summer fun, every moment left. Radio games playing all day. Contact 73 regards, punching back, have a blast. Work the world, buzz the task, yeah. Wave that signal strong from coast to land. Craving on, find that golden flow. Station to station, let the good times roll. Echoes travel wide, far beyond the range. Friendships on the airwaves, strange but not strange.
All right, folks, y'all have a good evening. This is On the Air with VA3EWV, AllStar EchoLink Net, and we'll see you next week. Ciao for now. 7-3.